Arguably, one of the sectors in crypto that has huge potential that not really has exploded yet is crypto gaming. And on today's video, I'm gonna be doing a deep dive about this exact narrative, what it means, and more importantly, what are the opportunities right now laying in this exact sector. I'm gonna be talking about one specific altcoin in crypto gaming that has got huge amounts of potential. I'm gonna be doing a deep dive in the project, the narrative, and much more. So don't forget to once again slap up that like button and let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, I want you to understand the narrative, and crypto gaming is arguably been one of the biggest sectors in the previous cycle, and I do really think that this cycle, once again, it will have a lot of potential. First of all, crypto gaming is something a lot of people can relate to, since gaming is a thing that is being done by a lot of people in the world. There are currently more than 3.2 billion people playing games, and that is massive. So huge numbers on the world are gaming, and that is why it could be a very great gateway into crypto. And more importantly, if you're gaming, you're either doing it on your phone or you're either doing it on your PC, and that is already connected with the internet, so it will be easy to convert those people towards actually buying crypto. So first of all, this sector has got arguably a lot of potential, and if I'm right now going to be looking towards all the biggest crypto coins in terms of gaming, we've got Immutable, which is the biggest one, sitting at P51, and I really do believe there is a huge amount of potential still to be unlocked in this exact sector. First of all, if the top one or top three coins in the gaming sector are already going to increase, I can guarantee you this money will ultimately flow back towards the lower market cap coins, and they could do extraordinary returns since they are not really highly valued right now here. And if you're looking at the market cap and the volume, you can see that right now for the first time in a very long time, the volume is clearly picking up again here. And if we're looking at the market cap for the entire gaming sector, you can see right now here that, of course, this peak right here above my face, that was the previous bull market. We had a massive drop here, a tough bear market, but now it is recovering very strongly, and in my opinion, it is looking really ready to create that next leg higher. So crypto gaming is finally starting to pick up again here. It's a narrative which is very relatable, and then of course you need to look at good projects which also have great potential. And then I came across XBorg, and XBorg is a coin sitting around P600. That is of course not necessarily so high, but at the same time that does also really mean there is a lot of potential still to be unlocked for this exact project. So I got this project recommended by a friend of mine. I started to look in towards it. I saw first of all the market cap is 84 million US dollars, fully diluted market cap is 390 million US dollars. So I started to see, okay, there is still quite a lot of unlocks likely to be happening, but then I did a deep dive in towards it, and basically for the coming 6 months we're almost going to get no unlocks here. And honestly, how I take this here is that in the beginning of the bull run, like for the long term, it will probably matter a little bit here, but for the imminent short term or the coming 6 months, it won't really matter a lot here since there are almost no unlocks in the coming 6 months here. But eventually the coin will probably get quite diluted, and that will be ultimately on the longer term not necessarily super bullish, but for the short term it could be still very bullish since there are no clear unlocks coming. So for the short term, I think this one is actually looking quite good here, and once I'm talking about short term, I'm talking about 3 to 6 months here. And of course, I want you to know I am not a financial advisor whatsoever, but personally what I'm just looking at is a good project, which I think it is, a good chart, which I think it also has, and we'll do a deep dive in towards that in a second from now on, and the unlocks, which are also looking good for at least the coming 6 months here. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I always want you to do your own research on projects, and honestly, I started to look at this chart here. First of all, the narrative is great. Second of all, the project is great, which I will be doing a deep dive in a second, but the chart, guys, the chart is ultimately looking very strong. First, it was creating somewhat of a rising wedge pattern, an upper slope consolidation phase. It broke towards the upside. It had a massive breakout, which was quite insane if you would ask me here. Then now again, it was starting to consolidate, broke the downward sloping resist line, then had another continuation higher, and now it is just looking very strongly pushing towards the upside. It even pushed above its previous all-time high. You can see also right here, boom, we broke above that all-time high, exact retest on that level and bounced higher. So ultimately, it is showing a lot of strength on all the important levels. And then I just started to look at it. Okay, what can I do right now in terms of a trade? What could I be looking at? What are my targets? So basically, it is currently sitting around $80 million in market cap. And honestly, for the project, what they're currently doing, it is absolutely massive. So basically, to quickly summarize it, what they're doing in literally 4 words, I can explain it. It's a player identity protocol. You can see it literally in the front of your face what it is doing. Basically, what they're doing is they're building the largest player identity protocol for gamers, and that will be the evolution of online experience. And this is something that is very interesting. They're basically connecting all the games together, making a profile, making and connecting all the achievement together, so to see what kind of players you want to be having in your team, etc, etc. So this is honestly something I really like here. And of course, they've already partnered with some big players out there. It's got huge potential. And then looking at the chart, it was already looking great here. But I also saw Alex Becker tweet about this one, and Alex Becker is a very influential guy out there on the internet, and that is honestly also something you should definitely take very seriously. He's very influential, and he is actually stating it's an undervalued team / project, and that is of course a great thing to hear from such an influential guy, right? So the chart is looking great here, and honestly I think that it is still likely to explode next year, especially that you have to understand the narrative, right? I've also been invested in many of these other ones. The previous bull run, I was heavily into Sand, made a lot of money from it. I'm now heavily invested in Beam also, and of course I've bought some XBorg. To be exact, I want to just like clarify it. Of course, you don't need to copy me. Please don't copy me. Always do your own research, but I am holding $25,000 worth of this token, and honestly I just hope it is going to go up here, and of course at certain points I will be taking profits off the table, but I do really think it can still perform quite strongly, and the chart is also looking very good in my opinion. It launched also back in August 2024, and what I really like of these projects is that they're not so old. I like these coins that are newly launched there, those coins that are not fully diluted yet here, where the VCs cannot really dump heavily on them yet here. You can see that there's currently still 93% of the tokens are locked, and those are likely investors. They've got more than $10 million in funding, and that funding will be getting unlocked eventually, right? Eventually this is going to get unlocked, and it will be bad, but for at least the coming 6 months it is not going to be so bad here, and that is why I am so bullish and excited about it. There's not going to be necessarily so much sell pressure, and you can see also over here we've got about like 20% reserve, 25% project development, and about 4% is pre-sale. So that is of course tokens that will be getting released way later. So yeah, this is just very interesting tokenomics in my opinion, and that is just something I am very excited about for. So if we're just looking at the bigger perspective of it all, really the most amount of meme coins, they have not really exploded yet here, and just like last cycle, if we're going to get that like, what is it, like 10x in the crypto gaming sector, it could be meaning something great, especially for these lower cap altcoins, guys, because you have to understand the lower cap altcoins, they're going to be the ones that are going to be doing the crazy returns, like the 10x's, 20x's, and that is why I wanted to talk about this project on today's video. So this was it for me in today's video. If you did enjoy it, if you learned something from it, don't forget to slap that like button. If you want me to talk more about this project, don't forget to follow me here on my channel. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.